London. One of the most competitive property markets in the world, with rising prices, limited space and constant development pressure, every square foot in this city matters. Yet, in the heart of Islington, one of the capital's most desirable boroughs, this building, owned by an unnamed former rock star, sat empty for nearly 2 years. Squatted, unmaintained, and steadily deteriorating, it was a high-value asset on the verge of becoming a long-term liability. But we had the ultimate solution. Through Property Guardianship, we protected and preserved the building while offering affordable accommodation to responsible, vetted individuals. But before anyone could move in, the building needed major work to ensure it was safe and compliant. That's where our in-house maintenance team came in, led by Andy Pollock.
From the client's point of view, the property itself was costing them quite a lot of money. It's empty, so they were paying empty rates or business rates on the property itself. When we took it on, we completely mitigated all of those costs. The client had gone through quite a lot of stress and asked us to come in to try provide a solution so they didn't have to go through that again. The client wasn't too sure what could be done with it. The electrics were minimal, there was no plumbing, no waste, no drainage, and yeah, it was in really poor condition. So in the 11 years that I've worked for Living Guardians, the property was probably one of the worst properties that we've taken on. So we had to start from scratch. It relied on the entire team coming together, and this involved our electricians, carpenters, painters, decorators, gas engineers, plumbers, all coming together. We needed to insulate all the walls so that we could comply with the new EPC regulations, and that was probably one of the biggest factors of the building because it was all single skin brick. We needed to insulate everything and put in new electric heating systems because there wasn't a gas supply to the building. New flooring was laid throughout the property. The entire property was painted from top to bottom to get rid of all the graffiti and make it look as fresh as possible. You know, we don't try to do major conversions, but in this circumstance we wanted to try save the consumption of electricity as much as possible. What we've done is all the works needed to make it habitable and comply with all UK standards. The benefits of having the property refurbished and occupied by Guardians means that the building's actually being used. It's not remained empty and seen as an eyesore. You've also got the benefits of Guardians buying things in the community, working with the community.
The very best thing is being able to live in amazing locations for not a lot of money compared to private renting. My name's Robert. I've been living here for around, I think this will be my 7th year now. I work for an antiques and fine arts company. It doesn't matter how long we're in a property, we will make your property a home. We always look after it. We're not squatters, so we will take care of the building. Obviously there's lots of checks and regulations, so that's why people do get into the buildings. I've never gone back into private renting since discovering a guardianship.
Having Guardians in place gives the client a little bit of flexibility to be able to view the property when he wants, to make sure that they're able to do the things that they need to do to be able to get their planning put in place. Instead of the client forking out for security or completely boarding up the building, we've taken on and we took on all the utility bills and council tax and so on. The client's happy that they've given us their asset and we took care of their asset. If the client didn't take us on, we've had the property for about 6 years now, and if they just boarded it up, you know, you could have had the risk of the property being set alight, being burnt down, re-squatted again, could have had issues with fly tipping. In all hindsight, the client has saved a lot of money by putting us in there. From start to finish, I think the client was extremely happy with Living Guardians. Essentially, we've taken their building, which was in ruins, made it livable again, and saved them a load of money on security. And essentially, you know, something that may have cost them a lot in the long term has literally cost them nothing for 6 years. The client would have saved over £1 million.
You know, there's a financial aspect, isn't there, for the owners. It is a great incentive, and you know, why not take it? Because it's the best of both worlds. You get the financial aspect and you have your property looked after by good people. It's a solution for the people that live in here because there's a housing crisis, right? There's a cost of living housing crisis. That's the solution for our rents. The solution for the property owners is that everything is getting expenses, especially business rates, and it's keeping your property alive whilst being financially stable.
So guardianship provides a feasible short-term solution to the property issues that we have today. You have council housing, right to buy, you have all these things, but there's so many empty properties in the UK that are unused.
We're sort of keeping properties alive that otherwise would have been torn down, vandalised, in a state of decay because there's no one there taking care of it.
How I see guardianship evolving, or how I see living guardians evolving, is I see that guardianship is going to become the norm, and essentially it'll become a new way of living. For those moments where people don't really know where they want to be or what they want to do, so it gives them the opportunity to stay in some really quirky places for really good value for money.
It's keeping history alive. I mean, this is, this building is, I think, from the 30s. Keeping local history alive it's pretty important, really.
We currently have around about 1 million empty properties across the UK. Those 1 million properties could become guardian properties. Guardianship and living guardians have a key position to provide a solution, albeit a temporary solution, to that issue that we have.
Really, it's a win-win for everyone. I can't see why it's not a win-win for everyone, because at the end of the day, everyone's happy, and it's a great, it's a great solution. You're just now an extension of that building's life, which I think is quite nice, really.